GamerGate is here again. The gaslighting has begun again. The press are running scared again. GamerGate is here again. Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Apparently, GamerGate is back. GamerGate 2.0. Oh my gosh. As I hear you cry, good sirs, what exactly is GamerGate though? I've heard the terminology bounded around over the years, but I was never quite sure what it meant. Dear viewer, let me help you out here. GamerGate is when journalists and the gaming industry get caught doing nefarious, naughty stuff, and then when they're called out on it, close ranks and call everybody racist and sexist in an effort to create a brand new narrative because they got caught. Which is exactly what's happened in this instance with the consultancy companies that go in and ESG-DIE your gaming studios so that you can get your BlackRock and Vanguard cheap loans which you need to make your video games. But however, shining a light on this means racisms!
Everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out.
Oh, that little cherubim of light there was Anita Sarkeesian, one of the focal figures during GamerGate 1.0. She recently had a birthday and decided to celebrate it by pretending that somebody loved her and wanted to marry her. Oh my god, this cell phone is unbelievable. But listen to her words. If everything is sexist, if everything's racist, if everything's homophobic, what an incredible grift it is for somebody like her that can go into a company and say, hey, let me sort out all your racisms and sexisms and homophobicisms, and they get paid for doing so. And if you think this isn't a grift, let's have a look at another tweet from her in 2019. Hey, CD Projekt Red, I'm always available for consulting because it sure sounds like you might need it before the whole of the internet drags you for what sounds like some potentially sexist representations, which we all know you've struggled with in the past. Yikes face! Dear sweet Az, come on now, sir. Surely this can't have any ramifications for a huge company like CD Projekt Red? Oh, I'm sure you're right. But then there is this, of course.
My name is Pich. I'm a member of the board and CFO at CD Projekt. I'm also personally involved in a range of environmental, social and governance initiatives, ESG for short. This approach reflects our identity and our values.
And you see, that's actually the major problem, because most gamers will see that and they'll just want you to take what you said, bend over, shove it right up your ass. Because what they want is just good, fun games. You know, the stuff that you used to put out once upon a time. But I'm sure, due to what Anita Sarkeesian said, that this went down exceedingly well with those gamers. Yikes emoji! Because ESG isn't actually for gamers whatsoever, and it's not actually for representation, diversity, inclusion, whatever you want to call it. ESG is about low interest corporate loans from Vanguard and BlackRock to fund their video games. Because video games are very expensive to make, and even the largest of companies rely on these loans to front the capital to get them made. The corner that they back themselves into, though, is when you start to preach something, other people are going to come along and make sure that you practice that, which leads to the rise of these consultancy firms like Sweet Baby Inc. And there are many more like this, rest assured. But hold up, Kotaku's here to steer us onto the right path. Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't do what some gamers think it does. No, one company isn't forcing diversity in all your favorite video games. Well, I guess that learnt me. Cheers, Kotaku. But wait a minute. There is this, though. Our mission is to tell better, more empathetic stories while diversifying and enriching the video game industry. We aim to make games more engaging, more fun, more meaningful, and more inclusive. That's 2 out of the DIE right there in their very own mission statement. But I guess don't believe what we read, don't believe what we see, Just believe what we're told instead, eh? Sorry, doesn't work that way. When the writer of that Kotaku article was actually called out on the CEO of Sweet Baby Inc.'s personal feelings towards race, more specifically white people, they came back with this absolute humdinger. Hi! You can't be racist against white people. Thanks for tuning in. To which they got community noted. Racism isn't limited to marginalized or minority, racist/ethnic groups. It is simply the unfair treatment of people who belong to a different/specific race, which can in fact include white people. Imagine putting that on a tweet for the whole world to say, oh my God, they did. They absolutely did. Here's Danny Lalondes, who works for a brand new AAA game studio set up by EA called Cliffhanger Games. Would you like to know its take on employees and who it employs in their company? Let's listen, shall we?
I have a team of 21 right now for Validate. It's a pretty big team. It's a crazy big team for indie games. But who is your team? Validate has a team of mostly all people of color. We have no white people on our team. I did that because I wanted to create a safe environment. And I know the best way for an environment to be safe is to be around people who are just like me.
But dear sweet viewer, it gets even better.
And I'm not saying that white people in the industry are creating unsafe environments.
That's exactly what you're saying, according to your own words.
I'm not saying that.
No, you are saying that.
That is not what I'm saying.
That is what you're saying.
I'm saying that sometimes it is hard to work with white people because they think that something made it okay, but it was really a microaggression. And no one wants to deal with that while they're trying to make a game that they love.
Oh, this next bit's going to be fun. Let's play a game, shall we, everybody? And the beauty about this game is it's really inclusive. This game doesn't care about the color of your skin. This game doesn't care about where you come from, what race you are. This game doesn't care what religions you hold. And this game doesn't care about your sexual orientation. And this game doesn't even care if you're a man or a woman. This game is called Let's Swap the Word White for Black, and then let's see how the industry reacts to that, and the mainstream media acts to that, because then it would be a completely different ball game altogether. But don't worry, Kotaku already told us it's fine. You can't be racist towards white people. These are the people who proclaim to be on the right side of history. Just think of that for a moment. But of course, rest assured, defense is being run for these types of people. Games industry folks need to pay attention here because the conversations here are going to continue to drive much of the misinformation we see in the upcoming months and years. You mean, of course, the misinformation that's coming directly from the mouths of the people that are being called out. Get your social media and marketing teams prepared with the sea of nonsense returning post GamerGate 1. Don't believe what they're telling you. Believe what we're telling you that they're actually saying. But take a look at this next absolute chestnut. As a person who advocates for diversity in games, this whole thing is laughable. We have had exactly one female protagonist in the top 25 best-selling games of the last 3 years. That list also includes only one Latino. Disbrew's response is pretty much spot on. Can you imagine writing this tweet and not realizing it completely destroys your own argument? Don't worry about the quality of the game. Don't worry about how much it sells because it appeals to a target audience, regardless of that target audience's actual demographic other than being the target audience. It's about forcing diversity into games which clearly don't sell because they're not on that fucking list. They also, however, fail to neglect one very important aspect: organic diversity. Pulling a list of last year's best-selling games in the US, Hogwarts Legacy, you can create your own character regardless of color or gender. Modern Warfare 3, you can play operators regardless of color or gender from all types of places. Madden, based on real life people. Do you want to race change them? You can also create your own character and career mode, regardless of color. Diablo 4, create your own character, regardless of gender or color. Call of Duty again, operators all around the world. EA Sports, again, real life people. Do you want to race change them? Starfield, create your own character regardless of gender or color. Wow, it's as if you have plenty of options and are trying to create a bullshit narrative because that's what you actually do. Also espousing the same rhetoric that the CEO of Sweet Baby Inc. herself has, which is don't target your target audience. Target the minute minority because you might give them joy. You might also go fucking broke, but don't worry about that. And just before I go, let's just have one other look at another consultant for Sweet Baby Inc. One of these companies that go into the mainstream gaming industry and diversify it. And let's see what their attitude is towards white people, shall we? Pay me to shoot down your white male lead game ideas. That's whatever it is. Looking around the mixer last night put into perspective just how white and male our dev scene really is. It's really white and male. Okay, you know, you sort of pushed it a little bit with that one. I had a nightmare that I was a white male gamer. Oh, did you know? Poor you. I usually get grossed out when I see straight white rich people kiss. But even I think those two are pretty cute. Aw, he did a racism, but he thought it was cute. And then there's this one, Abortal. She just fucking what? These are the people who profess to be on the right side of history. And journos from the gaming sphere are desperate for GamerGate 2.0 to masticize because they are a cancer. And they want nothing more than to write article after article calling gamers racists and sexists and all this kind of bullshit because it's the only thing they've ever wanted to do. Now it's out in the open. People can see exactly what these companies do, what they're there for, and the type of people, more importantly, that work for them. Scum. I'll see you in the next video. You take care. Bye for now.